sitting there with your remote control in your hand, ready to change the channel, but don't do it. I urge you to stay with us for the next program. I'm certain it will prove to be one of the most heartwarming and moving hours you've ever spent. It's about hope and children and people like yourself who know about the gift of love.
Children's Research Hospital is proud to present A Gift of Love with host Marlo Thomas and special guest John Goodman.
Hello, I'm Marlo Thomas, and this is not a stage set. And these are not actors. This is St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. These children are patients here, and they're being treated for various types of cancer with the finest, most powerful methods known to modern science. St. Jude was established nearly 30 years ago because my father believed with all his heart that no child should have to die or even suffer because of the ravages of childhood cancer and other catastrophic diseases. I remember when I was a little girl about 10 years old, I went for a drive with my father, and we passed a group of boys who were beating up on another little boy. My father stopped the car, got out, separated the boys, and gave them a talking to. When he got back in the car, he said, "I hate a bully." I think for my father, cancer was a bully. It picked on little children who didn't have the strength or the size or the resources to fight back. And I think that was one of the reasons why he first dreamed of St. Jude Hospital and why he was so committed to its success. He wanted to even the odds a bit, and he did. He did it for children like the special little boy you're about to meet. His name is Ryan, and he doesn't like bullies either. Ryan was only 4 months old when his parents found out that he had a brain tumor. He was rushed to St. Jude, where doctors immediately began a battle to save his life.
What is that?
Baby. When he was first diagnosed in his hometown, his parents didn't think he would live more than a few weeks. That was over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Since then, he's had months of chemotherapy and radiation, as well as 2 operations where doctors tried to remove the tumor. But the cancer is still there.
What are you doing?
He's taking your picture. And Ryan is still fighting.
When they started Ryan out on his protocol, they told us that he had his type of tumor he has was really aggressive. But we'll get through it.
What are you doing? Huh?
He's done so well this past 2 years that it's even made the doctor surprised.
What?
Several weeks later, Ryan got a surprise of his own.
Oh. Looky here.
This is his official coming off chemo party. What that means is that after all these months, Ryan has finally completed his chemotherapy protocol. He's lost a lot of weight and he's much weaker. But at least Ryan made it through the treatment. Unfortunately, the chemotherapy didn't kill the cancer. And so after the party is over, he heads back to St. Jude for more radiation. But nobody's worrying about that now. Today it's time to celebrate the moment and make some memories.
We never thought we'd be this far. We really didn't. And so this is all positive. He has the will to live, and he's going to, no matter what. And I believe in him. He doesn't give up. He's little, but he sure got a lot of strength.
Okay.
It will be at least a month before Ryan's mother will be able to leave her job and join Ryan and his dad at St. Jude. In the meantime, The radiation has her worried.
Give me a kiss and I'll leave you alone. I've read a lot of books on radiation, and it scares me. Radiation that goes directly to the brain makes the kids a lot more sick than when they have radiation to other parts of their body. It is going to be scary. We just live one day at a time.
It took only a few weeks for Ryan to get some weight and get his strength back.
What are you doing?
He's starting to enjoy the hospital again. And in between radiation treatments, one of his favorite places to hang out is physical therapy.
Ryan makes us laugh. Ryan is a very lovable, very cute little boy. He comes back and laughs and giggles and plays. You forget that this is a child who is critically ill. He looks, acts like any other 2.5-year-old, playing and having a good time and enjoying life. 2 more points.
2 points.
2 points.
Before each radiation treatment, Ryan has to be sedated. Radiation is a difficult procedure, especially for a child so young. It's too soon to tell what effect the radiation has had on his tumor. But at least for now, Ryan is holding his own. This is the last radiation that Ryan is scheduled for. If that doesn't work, there are few options left. Ryan's mother finally got time off from her job. She hasn't seen him for 5 weeks. This is an emotional time for both of them.
Hi. It feels real good. And to have those little arms around your neck, this shows how much love this little boy has. For me, for everybody, too. Got big eyes. We'll just take one day at a time. Worry about today and worry about tomorrow when it gets here.
Can you imagine the pain of Ryan's parents, waiting and praying for that medical breakthrough? Taking away that pain and giving that little crackerjack Ryan and so many other children a lifetime of tomorrows has much to do with what you'll learn about in the next 2 minutes. To tell us more, here's a special friend of St. Jude Hospital, our special guest, John Goodman.
Thank you, Marlo. I'm so happy and proud to be a part of this hour. As far as I'm concerned, it's the best part because I get to join with you in helping give life and hope to St. Jude kids like little Ryan. You see, there's something we can do to help, something we must do. Right now, with your call and pledge of just $16 a month, you can become a St. Jude Partner in Hope. You see, every year, 6,000 American children are diagnosed with cancer. Almost half die. That's what we're up against here. And it's why your monthly gift is so crucial to kids like Ryan. You know, the treatments to fight cancer can wipe out a family's savings just like that. But at St. Jude Hospital, no child is ever turned away because of a family's inability to pay. That's a commitment made out of a lot of love. But there's another thing. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital isn't supported by any institution or religious group. Without people like you, Ryan's treatments would simply not be possible. So call right now and become a St. Jude Partner in Hope with your commitment of $16 a month. And to remind you of what your money is accomplishing, as soon as we receive your first $16, every month we'll send you a picture and a story about a St. Jude child your gift is helping. You'll also receive an attractive folder to display your pictures in.
Thank you for calling St. Jude Hospital.
As you can see, the operators at our phone center are already taking calls. But believe me, your call is the most important call. Maybe it'd be more convenient for you to make a single gift of $25, $50, or $100. Or even more, whatever you can give. Don't miss out on the fulfillment of helping literally save a child's life. Call with your tax-deductible $16 a month pledge or your single gift. Please do it now. And I thank you.
I feel confident that St. Jude's Hospital uses that money that you send them to the very best advantage. They don't waste a dime.
St. Jude Hospital is so special because it's giving children, parents, hope.
I would just say to the people out there to please give and to open up your hearts and give a little bit of love.
For a grown-up, a hospital's a scary place. And it's even more so for a child. They're away from home, their friends and family. And they're facing some pretty scary experiences. Well, some of the kids here at St. Jude Hospital express those feelings through painting, some through playing, and some, like my friend William here, do it through poetry. William is 18 years old. He was selected by the local paper in his town as the Student of the Year. He graduated with a 4-point average. And let me tell you something else about William. He's thinking about becoming a doctor. And during all this time, he's fought a very difficult battle against leukemia. William, when you went into remission, you wrote a poem. What was the title of the poem?
Farewell Address.
Do you feel like reading a few lines for us now?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, good.
I've made special friends through the years, losing some and sharing many tears. As I look at your eager faces, I see warm, caring people that were a part of me. And as I walk out these white doors, saying goodbye to you hurts me more and more. To my doctors and nurses, I owe my life to you, never forgetting the love I have for St. Jude.
St. Jude is never going to forget you either, William. You're quite an inspiration.
Thank you.
Well, you know that without you, moments like this would just not be possible. It's your gifts that keep the hope and life flowing here at St. Jude Hospital. So right now, call and become a partner in hope with your $16 a month pledge. It'll be a gift of love to kids like William and this brave little girl we're about to see.
What about pins? These are earrings. These are earrings.
At first glance, you wouldn't know that Beth Ann is any different than her friends. But she is. She has cancer. It's called Ewing sarcoma. When she was in kindergarten, doctors found a tumor in her leg. The tumor spread to her lungs. Since first diagnosed, Beth has had her leg amputated, she's had 7 lung operations, and she's endured countless chemotherapy treatments. But through it all, Beth Ann has persevered, even though doctors have been unable to stop the spread of her disease. She's a miracle child, living on borrowed time.
They haven't been able to find anything that worked long enough to be effective. Before this last surgery, they told us she would probably come out of it an invalid because they were removing so much of her lungs. And she recovered faster than ever. She always seems to be learning by everything. She doesn't just do something to be doing it. She likes to keep learning.
Let's do the rest of the investigation first.
Okay. She has ice skated, she has snow skied, she roller skates, she swims, she loves to swim. Her big dream is to go to Hawaii and snorkel.
Beth doesn't know for sure if she'll ever be able to take that trip to Hawaii, but she's not afraid to dream. A week later, Beth is back at St. Jude for a checkup. Through the years, she's become a familiar face at the hospital. It's like a second home. And the staff, well, they're part of her family.
You doing okay? You look good.
At this point, the doctors have pretty much run out of options. Despite the drugs and the surgeries, the tumors always return. But Beth is a fighter.
Take a big breath in for me. Real deep. Blow it out. Come on, push on.
She knows everything. We've always been open with her. The doctors have always been open with her. Because it's a rough road to go down. You hope every day. You wake up every morning and hope that you're going to make it through that day and hope you wake up the next day.
Beth Ann, each new day is cause for celebration. Especially today. It's her birthday, and her mom has cooked up something special. Her first ride in a limousine.
Okay, got your balloon. Yours. There you go.
What makes this day really important to Beth is that she is surrounded by friends and family.
Because the balloons were all on their way, so we were bouncing them back and forth.
She's at the hospital so often that she and her dad don't always get a chance to spend this kind of time together. These are cherished moments.
She's just got a inner strength about her that keeps pushing her on. She really loves being with the kids. She's an inspiration. They see that she can do things with one leg what they didn't think they could do with two. She's getting ready to start another chemo. She's basically had about everything they can throw at her, but it seems to keep coming back in her lungs. She knows that too, that there may not be a tomorrow.
Thank you, Hillary.
There's still the hope that they're going to find something one of these days that's going to cure all of this. There's always that hope somewhere deep down that your kid's going to be the one.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Beth. Happy birthday to you.
Light your candle.
Today, Beth Ann and her mom and dad still cling to that hope. The hope that a cure will be found in time. And it's why your help is needed so very much right now. Here's John.
If there were ever children who could inspire you to go to your phone and become a St. Jude Partner in Hope, it's children like Beth Ann and Ryan. You know, on the TV show Roseanne, I play the part of a dad, and of course it's a comedy, and most of the time we try to have a happy ending. But for Beth Ann and so many children like her, whether or not there is a happy ending has an awful lot to do with what we do during this hour. You see, when you call and become a Partner in Hope with your $16 a month commitment, you're actually helping tip the scales between life and death for children with no other place to turn. Your call and pledge will help provide the chemotherapy, surgery, treatments, research, and the special kind of love that the St. Jude staff pours on so generously. And all for one purpose, to help kids like Beth Ann win their battle against death-dealing diseases like cancer. Here, there are kids enduring the pain of chemotherapy, bone marrow tests, spinal taps, and doing it with a kind of courage that brings tears to your eyes. Please call right now with your gift of $16 a month and join me as a St. Jude Partner in Hope. After you send your first $16, every month you'll receive a picture and a report about a St. Jude child your gift is helping. And we'll send a folder in which to display your pictures. You can charge your monthly gift on Discover Card, Visa, American Express, or MasterCard. Just have your card ready when you call. As you can see, our friendly operators are ready and waiting. Many calls are coming in. All you have to do is give your name and address. It only takes a few moments to do so much good that feels so good. If later your circumstances change and you need to discontinue your pledge, we'll understand. But right now, there's a child at St. Jude Hospital who needs your help. Perhaps it'd be more convenient to make a single contribution of $25, $50, $100, or even more, whatever you can give. Don't miss out on the joy of helping bring life and hope to a child. Why not do it right now?
Whenever a new patient walks in the door, I don't care what their disease is, and I don't care how extensive it is. We have hope for them. In the old days, when a child was diagnosed with cancer, it was as if they died on the spot. Families used to treat them as if they were dead. Now we are able to tell a family, here's what we're aiming for. We're not aiming for just remission. We're aiming to cure your child. We have a remarkable record of improvement in the cure rate of childhood cancer. And we think it can get even better in the future. But there is hope. Little by little, we're making progress.
One of the most precious possessions for any family, yours included, I'll bet, is the family photo album. Well, we have one here, too, for our St. Jude family. Oh, here's one that's kind of special. Who's that? And there's a familiar face. That's one of the last pictures taken of my dad. You know, my father was an entertainer, and he was used to being in the public eye. He knew how important it was for St. Jude Hospital that he go on camera and publicize the work being done here. That was the Danny Thomas the public knew so well. But there was another Danny Thomas, the one so many of these children knew. That was the Danny Thomas who posed with them for snapshots. It was the Danny Thomas who could visit the floor where the more critically ill children were sleeping and just wander by the beds, stroking a brow, straightening a blanket, whispering a word of comfort and encouragement. This is how many of the children who have come through here remember him. And they had a very personal stake in his dream of ridding the world of childhood cancer and other catastrophic diseases. Of course, my father knew that you were the key to fulfilling that dream. It's your caring, your gifts of love that keep the doors of hope open here. And won't you call right now and become a partner in hope with your $16 a month commitment? Keep hope alive for someone just like this.
Evansville.
Sarah never gets tired of looking at her photo album. She loves to have her picture taken. That's why she and her dad decided to make a home video.
Hi. This is kind of hard to tape this way, but we're trying our best.
It's a home video of her first few days at St. Jude. This is what Sarah looked like 6 months ago, before the chemotherapy made her hair fall out.
Okay.
Her dad took these pictures just a few minutes after they learned that Sarah had leukemia.
Daddy, they're watching that.
Are they? Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Even with this devastating news, Sarah wanted her dad to keep shooting the video. It seemed to help her forget just how sick she was.
Well, she has acute myelogenous leukemia, or AML, and that's a form of leukemia that's fairly rare. The natural reaction that my guess is everybody has, and my same reaction was that no, it couldn't be true, and that it wasn't happening to my daughter.
You have a nice trip downstairs, okay, Sarah?
Nearly half a year after these pictures were taken, and after months of suffering through chemotherapy, Sarah's treatments have ended.
Don't. Okay, I will. Can I listen to your heart?
Yes.
Okay.
And the best news of all is that doctors at St. Jude have gotten Sarah into remission.
We don't see any evidence of leukemia in her cells, and hopefully she'll remain in remission. There are children with the same exact disease that Sarah has who are cured of this leukemia. We don't know if Sarah's going to be one of those or not. In the meantime, every day, every year, the therapies for these diseases are improving.
Sarah is determined to take full advantage of this time. Her neighborhood is giving her a welcome home party. Of course, Sarah wants lots of pictures taken. So once again, Dad is busy with the video recorder. And even though it will only be a week before she returns to St. Jude, it's given Sarah time to visit her school and spend a few days with her teacher and her friends.
I would call Sarah one of the bravest little people I've ever known. The last time she came back, she joined in, and it was great. You couldn't even tell she'd been gone. And now I see again this time, she's having a harder time meshing.
The reason Sarah's having a hard time meshing is because she's worried about the future. She knows her battle against leukemia is far from over. It's a heavy burden for a little girl. At times like this, you can usually find Sarah back at St. Jude with two of her favorite people. Her social worker, Chris, and a special friend named Hope. Hope also has leukemia.
It's called
chemotherapy.
When you're sick,
This is play therapy, and Sarah is very good at it.
And then what'll happen with our leukemia when we stop taking chemotherapy? Well, it'll go away. And never ever come back? Might come back. Might relapse.
She probably is one of my prime candidates for play therapy because of her personality.
What if we
The puppet is able to say, this is what I'm worried about, and she can talk about her own fears, but lay it on the puppet.
What Sarah, her family, and her doctors are worried about most is that she might relapse. The cancer might return. If that happens, there would be more chemotherapy and possibly a bone marrow transplant. If she does relapse, her chances for long-term survival would be greatly reduced.
In spite of everything Sarah has been through in the last year, she has maintained and held up incredibly well. And she's a fighter and a winner, and she's a wonderful example for all of us to follow.
I'm sorry to tell you that shortly after we taped this story, Sarah relapsed. Her cancer came back. She's now on a new cycle of chemotherapy. It's stronger this time, but more difficult for her weakened body to tolerate. No child should have to go through this kind of pain, and no family this kind of heartbreak. It's the reason why your call and your commitment of $16 a month is so important. Please do it right now.
30 years ago, a struggling comic made a promise that would forever affect the lives of children like Sarah. The man was Danny Thomas, and his promise resulted in a treatment and research hospital for children with cancer and other catastrophic diseases. At the time, a lot of people told Danny he was crazy. Why build a hospital to treat diseases everyone knew were fatal? Fortunately, for the more than 12,000 children who have been treated at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital since 1962, Danny was too stubborn to listen. Today, because of his determination, half of the children who walk through these doors will walk out again, cured. Tremendous strides have been taken. Acute lymphocytic leukemia used to be almost 100% fatal. Now the survival rate is 73%. The survival rate for Hodgkin's disease has grown from 50% to 90%. But as Danny would say, that figure is still not acceptable. We're not just talking statistics here. We're talking children's lives. Children like little Sarah and Ryan and Beth Ann. That's why I'm asking you to call the number on your screen right now and become a partner in hope with your gift of $16 a month. This life-saving work must continue. That's why your call is so important. It's important because fighting cancer takes months and years of costly treatment. It's important because of the thing Danny was most proud of. In the past 30 years, no child has ever been turned away because of race or religion or their parents' inability to pay. You are the folks who make that possible. Without you, St. Jude Hospital would not be able to go on saving these young lives. When you call and become a partner in hope, St. Jude Hospital wants you to know what your money is helping to accomplish. So after you send your first tax-deductible $16 gift, every month you'll receive a picture and a report about a St. Jude child your gift is helping. If you're not near a phone, write to us at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, Box 50, Memphis, Tennessee. That's Box 50, Memphis, Tennessee. Perhaps at this time it would be more convenient to give a single gift of $25, $50, $100. Whatever you can give, please go to your phone right now. Lives depend on it. Thank you.
Being a part of St. Jude's family is being a part of a child's life.
It's real important to do whatever you can to help the kids.
It makes you feel good inside. It makes you feel like you really did something.
I want you to meet my friend Diego. He originally comes from Bogota, Colombia. Diego, would it be all right if I showed everybody your picture?
Yes.
Wow, is that impressive? Who are these guys?
They're the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, the Ninja Turtles. And is this the title of your picture?
Yes.
What does that say?
La batalla entre leucemia y yo.
And what does that mean in English?
The battle between leukemia and me.
That's a wonderful picture. And thank you for showing it to us. Diego Leonardo Bayona has leukemia, but it's in remission at the present time. And that means that for now, there are no signs of cancer in his body. He's 9 years old, and you can tell a lot about him from his drawing. First of all, you can tell that he's a very talented artist, as are many of the children here at St. Jude Hospital. They use their art sometimes to express their hidden fears, and also their incredible courage and optimism. If ever a child had the joy of life in his eyes, it's Diego. And here at St. Jude, everyone is dedicated to keeping that light shining brightly. But we all know that much of that dedication and courage would be in vain if it weren't for you. It's very simple, really. St. Jude Hospital operates through the individual gifts of caring people like you. So why not join in? Reach out and help save a child's life. Please call and become a partner in hope with your commitment of $16 a month. Join the fight with someone like Diego Leonardo Bayona and the young man that you're about to meet. Wesley is a typical 10-year-old. At home in his backyard, he's got a goat, 2 rabbits, 4 chickens, and a can of worms in case the fish are biting. He loves to play practical jokes on people. He loves to make them laugh. Wesley is at St. Jude because he has rhabdomyosarcoma, a rare and very dangerous type of cancer. He arrived here 7 months ago in critical condition.
I bet there was 25, 30 doctors working on him, trying to figure out what infection he had, what problems he had. There's no doubt in our minds that he would have died if we hadn't got him to St. Jude on that Friday night. Some of the nurses say Wes would have never made it through this if he wasn't the scrapper and the ornery kid that he is, the fighter. And he does fight.
Wesley has been battling his disease now for 8 long months. He doesn't have many days like today. Children with rhabdomyosarcoma don't have a very good chance of long-term survival. High dosages of chemotherapy and radiation have severely weakened Wesley's body. Twice in the last few months, Wesley nearly died from complications related to his disease. That's why today is so important.
We've had 8 months, and it's added memories. Special times, close times. You grab onto those times. He used to get depressed about it, and he'd just flat come out and say, I want to die. Why did this happen to me? He doesn't do that very often anymore.
It has now been 9 months since Wesley learned he had cancer. Little by little, his strength is coming back. He's very proud of the fact that he can get around without his wheelchair. For Wesley, this is a major victory. But the war is far from over.
They tell me they see no cancer right now in his chest, and I try to get excited about it, but then I also get leery of believing it, because you think, what's hiding in there that they're not seeing?
This is Mount Memphis.
Here's my squirrel.
This is first squirrel he ever shot. There you were when you were real sick, weren't you, bud?
Dad's number 1. Dad does no wrong in Wes's eyes. Their personalities are like, they're just 2 peas in a pod. If Dad likes to hunt, Wes likes to hunt. Dad wants a big fish,
Wes wants to catch a bigger fish than Dad.
I'm gonna catch me another one of them.
In the morning, Mike always goes to the bedroom door and says, "See you later, Snake Belly," or some silly name that he'll call him, you know. And he'll say bye, and Mike doesn't even get out of the driveway, and I'll see tears down Wes's cheeks. I go, "What's the matter? Don't you feel good?" He says, "I miss my dad."
While Wesley and his dad were out fishing, his mother was home fixing dinner. Because of the radiation, Wes has developed a blockage in his throat. So every night, for 14 hours, he has to be fed intravenously. It's just part of the never-ending battle that Wesley, his parents, and the doctors at St. Jude are fighting.
Left and front.
It's now been 10 full months since Wesley was diagnosed. He's still not eating. His face is swollen because of the chemotherapy. And later today, he gets another dose. He knows how sick it will make him. So for now, he wants to kick back and have some fun.
You gotta keep fighting. You gotta keep hope. You can't give up on them. I keep hoping that the researchers will find something. They're getting closer. They've come so far. He talks about the future sometimes. And then at other times he doesn't. He says, "Mom, I don't want to die. I've got to keep fighting. He's got fish to catch, four-wheelers to ride. Lots to do yet in his life. We got to have it tomorrow."
What can you say after seeing a story like Wesley's? Part of me wants to cry, and part of me is angry. Angry at the cancer that's robbing Wesley of his very life. Angry at the injustice, the unfairness of it all. We have got to continue the research and find the cures for these horrendous diseases that take our children before they've really lived. Right now, before other things crowd in upon your mind, please go to your phone and become a St. Jude Partner in Hope with your commitment of $16 a month. Rich or poor, every child admitted to St. Jude Hospital receives the best medical care available, dished out with massive doses of love. At St. Jude Hospital, there's only one goal: to save children's lives. Your call and pledge will help provide the chemotherapy, radiation, and other treatments one of these children urgently needs to live, and the critical research for the new and better treatments that are the only hope for little guys like Wesley. Beginning with your first $16 gift, every month you'll receive a picture and information about a St. Jude child your money is helping, along with an attractive folder to display your pictures.
Hello, thanks for calling St. Jude Hospital.
Remember that when you call one of our friendly operators, you can use your Discover card, Visa, American Express, or MasterCard for automatic monthly payment. Perhaps you'd rather give a one-time gift of $25, $50, $100 or more. Whether you give a tax-deductible single gift or a pledge of $16 a month, please, for the sake of a child like Wesley, make that call now. Thank you.
I'm Martha Beshears, International President of Epsilon Sigma Alpha. In 1972, the members of ESA recognized the crucial role St. Jude Children's Research Hospital plays in bringing help and hope to children with catastrophic diseases. Since that time, we have raised over $16 million for the hospital. On behalf of the 20,000 members of ESA throughout the United States and Australia, I urge you to join us in supporting this life-saving work. Call with your monthly pledge right now.
You know, in many countries where the air pollution is very bad, people can be seen walking around with masks on their faces, and no one gives them a second look. But here in America, a person with a mask is still kind of unusual. Well, unless it's Halloween or the person is a doctor. You're not a doctor, are you?
No, I'm not a doctor.
No, you're not. But why are you wearing that mask?
So I don't get infections and germs.
That's right. Adam is a patient here at St. Jude Hospital, and he's recently undergone a bone marrow transplant, so he'd be more susceptible to infections now. Here at St. Jude, we've recently established a bone marrow transplant unit to research new and more effective transplant procedures. It's all part of the new strides in treatment and research that you help make possible when you call and become a partner in hope. In fact, right now, your commitment of $16 a month can be a lifesaver to a child like Adam. You know, I like your mask, Adam, but underneath there is, I know, a very handsome and happy face, and I can't see it. So you know what I've done? I've gotten you a happy mask. You want to try it on?
Yeah.
I got one for myself, too. I could use a little smile, too. Here we are. We're handsome and we're happy. This is a procedure that Ryan is very familiar with,
37.
even though he's only 4 years old.
Jim over like this.
Brian is familiar with a lot of procedures at St. Jude.
Keep going right there.
He's been coming to the hospital for a little over a year now.
You don't do anything up there. Oh, okay.
When his parents first rushed him to St. Jude, Ryan was in so much pain that he couldn't walk or move his arms.
We didn't know where we were going. You know, we gathered up what money, you know, we had to come down here because we didn't know what to expect, and he was just, he was in bad shape. Okay, put a little more on.
When Ryan and his family arrived at the hospital, one of the first things they were told was not to worry about the money.
You want to take my wire off?
No.
St. Jude would take care of everything. Within hours, doctors at St. Jude had a diagnosis. The disease is called neuroblastoma. There's a tumor growing inside Ryan that has to be killed. In the past year, he's had an operation and months of chemotherapy. So far, doctors have failed to get him into remission. But that hasn't slowed Ryan down one bit.
The difference between the way Ryan is today and the very first day Ryan came is so tremendous. He's just quite a guy, and he's going to affect a lot of lives during the time that he's going to be here. If we can make the tumor smaller, we can give him more time.
Oh, do I want that? Yeah, I want that.
No one knows for sure just how much time Ryan really has, or what will happen. But in the last few years, doctors and researchers at St. Jude have made some progress with neuroblastoma.
Lizard? No, mine, no.
It's given Ryan and his grandpa time to build precious memories.
Well, he's number one in my eyes. You know that. What are you looking for? He sure is a tough little boy. Yeah, that's yellow, isn't it? He don't give up. Getting too much water. He's aimed to whip it. With the help of St. Jude's, I think we can do it.
3 days later, Ryan arrives at St. Jude for surgery. Doctors are going to see if the tumor has spread. Everyone is tense and nervous. Everyone except Ryan.
We talked about the operation. I said, Ryan, you know you're going to have this operation. He said, yeah, Mommy. I said, are you scared? He said, no, Mommy, I'm not scared.
Are you going to make a different picture?
Something that St. Jude really tries to teach you is you don't deal with a month from now, you don't deal with 2 weeks from now, you deal with today, and you deal with tomorrow.
Dr. Rao will make a little opening from over here all the way over to here. Now on here, that would...
As Ryan gets ready for the surgery, his fears finally surface. and his family tries to prepare themselves for whatever comes next.
The long-term outlook is very grim. But the research may be able to find another means of treating him. We are trying other things with neuroblastoma. If we could find just a breakthrough, it's worth waiting for. So let's get him in remission. Let's keep him there as long as we can and hope that something happens, because nobody knows when we're going to find something. It may happen for Ryan.
Can you imagine how helpless Ryan's mother felt that day? Or the pain of all those endless hours of waiting? But we've got some good news. The operation was a success. The surgeon was able to remove all of Ryan's tumor. But the very best news came yesterday. Ryan is finally in remission. And now comes the hard part, waiting to see if he stays in remission.
As I watch these stories with you, I'm beginning to see how, for our St. Jude families, the waiting must be one of the hardest things to endure. Is there hope after the waiting? Are there successes? You bet there are. Today, we're able to cure 60 to 70% of the children diagnosed with certain forms of leukemia. A few short years ago, there were very few survivors. Treatments for childhood cancer developed at St. Jude are now saving children's lives around the world. But there are still too many like Ryan who must wait and hope and pray that the researchers will find the right combination of drugs that will cure their cancer soon, while there is still time left for them. You see why at St. Jude Hospital, research is a life and death endeavor. Call right now. Become a partner in hope with your pledge of $16 a month. As soon as we receive your first $16 gift, every month you'll receive a picture and information about a St. Jude child like those you're helping. You may prefer to make a single gift of $25, $50, $200, or even more. Remember that at St. Jude Hospital, no child has ever been turned away because of his parents' inability to pay. And your individual gifts make that possible. St. Jude is not supported by any institution or religious group. You are the lifeline for St. Jude kids. Your call will only take a moment. Just give one of our friendly operators your name and address. They'll do the rest. And you'll have the wonderful satisfaction of knowing you've helped save a child's life. Call right now.
I'm sitting here with a very special group of young ladies. They're in remission, which means tests show no sign of cancer. This is the first step to a permanent cure, and that's the goal for the staff and, of course, for Dawn and Mallory and Alicia and Emily. You know, there was a time at St. Jude Hospital when very few children went into remission, but no longer. How did the picture get brighter? Well, you just heard what John Goodman had to say about research. Finding new and exciting ways to find the old enemy. That's the key. But of course, the money had to be there to finance the research. Money that came from your monthly gifts over the years and your powerful belief in the work that we're doing here. And these kids are just part of the result. If you haven't become a St. Jude partner in hope, please do it now with your call and your commitment of $16 a month. There is no feeling in the world quite like helping give life and hope to children like these. Please call right now. For a child stricken with cancer, a walk in the woods on a sunny day with your dad and your little brother is a gift worth treasuring. John is 9 years old. He has high-risk AML, one of the most dangerous and difficult-to-treat types of leukemia. When he was first diagnosed, he almost died. Today, that's the furthest thing from his mind, because the doctors at St. Jude have gotten John into remission. And that means that for now, there are no signs of cancer in his body. His mother had mixed emotions when she got the news.
They came in and just said the word remission, and it was such a surprise that just, you know, it was just wonderful, because I didn't expect remission so soon.
And it's wonderful to say the word remission, but it almost seems like a false term, because remission means that it's okay now, but we don't know about tomorrow. The word remission is not cure. And I want to hear the word cure, you know.
Watching John today, it's hard to believe that he's been through 5 cycles of intensive chemotherapy at St. Jude.
Boy. There was a time after the first cycle that his temperature went to 106, and he had ulcers in his mouth and down his throat and in his stomach, and he was on morphine for a period of time because he was in such pain.
It's your turn.
I thought that I was watching him die.
Tonight, John's hometown is having a party in his honor. John and his family received some more good news. Next week is his last chemotherapy treatment. He's finished his cycle. But again, his mother has mixed emotions.
I'll be very relieved that he won't have to come in and go through the torture of the chemotherapy. But then again, it's kind of scary because there's more of a risk of him relapsing.
It's 3 weeks later, and John is back at St. Jude. His last chemotherapy treatment is finished. The powerful drugs used to try and kill the cancer have taken their toll on his frail body.
He's very weak. He's very nauseous. He hasn't eaten anything. He's thrown up several times, so I'm not sure even how much medicine he's kept down. He's real miserable.
He's a very sensitive child, very concerned about others, not so much about himself. He worries a lot about Mom and Dad and doesn't want them to worry too much about him, so he keeps a pretty lighthearted attitude and tries to be encouraging. If I were sick and in his situation, I wish I could keep an attitude and laugh about it and be humorous about it like he does.
Spring was coming to the mountains. Grandmother was busy with the spring house cleaning. I had this dream, and I dreamed that Jonathan had died, and I kept saying, my baby, my baby. And that morning I'd woke up, and I had woke up. It was funny, I wanted to wake up real slowly because I knew that it was a dream, and I thought, maybe if I woke up slow enough, it will all be a dream. He understands how serious it is. He knows that it's life endangering. He's such a little warrior, and he is. You know, you think of strong men going into battle and they brave, you know, whatever's ahead. And he knows what he's going to be walking into. He says, well, Mother, I've got to do my part.
During these last moments, I'd like us to remember those words little Jonathan said to his mom. He said, Mom, I've got to do my part. You know, there's a part for everyone in the lives of these kids. It begins with the compassion we have all felt for every one of them. Then it moves on to a simple phone call and a pledge of $16 a month. With that call, you'll be helping save a child's life, and you'll become a part of a group of very special people. St. Jude Hospital's Partners in Hope. During this hour, you have seen how for over 30 years, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital has been a major battlefield in the war against childhood cancer. You've seen the courage of children willing to endure any kind of pain just for a chance to live. I'm asking you to help us give them that chance. If you haven't called yet, think what your commitment of just $16 a month could mean to one of these precious children. Your monthly gift will help provide the chemotherapy, radiation, or surgery some child urgently needs to live. The hospital's special brand of loving care that enables these children to endure their pain. The research that is the only hope they have for tomorrow. After you send your first $16 gift, every month you'll receive a picture and a report about a St. Jude child your gift is helping, and a folder to display your pictures. If you wish, you can use your Discover card, Visa, American Express, or MasterCard for automatic monthly payments. If your circumstances change and you have to discontinue your pledge, You may. But please, for the sake of one child, make your call now. Perhaps you'd rather give a single gift of $25, $50, $200, or even more. Every gift is important and appreciated. If you're not near a phone, write to us at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, Box 50, Memphis, Tennessee. That's Box 50, Memphis, Tennessee. And if you'd like a financial report, just ask for one when you call. Our operators will stay on the line after we leave the air. If you've been hesitating to call, believe me, there is no greater satisfaction than helping give life and hope to a child. Call right now, and let me thank you for your caring and your generosity. Marlo?
You've just spent an hour with some of the most courageous, optimistic, and compassionate people on this earth. The parents, the volunteers, and most of all the children have shared their hopes and dreams and stories with us. And I'm sure you've been as moved by them as I've been. This program took an hour. And if within that hour you took a few minutes to call in your pledge, the goodwill you have done can last a lifetime. My father used to say that in this world there are givers and there are takers. The takers may sometimes eat a little better, but the givers always sleep better. So please give, and make a difference in the future of these children and so many more like them. As our hour draws to a close, we'd all like to say thank you to a very special giver, John Goodman. And if you haven't yet placed your call and made your pledge, take a minute now to do it. There is no better way in the world to give the gift of love than by giving the gift of life. You know, my father was a dreamer, but he made sure that some of his dreams came true. He dreamt of a world where no child need die in the dawn of life. Well, his dream is our dream now. Please make it your dream, too.
What could I give?